Welcome to the shadow frequency, where the veil between this world and the next grows thin, and the things that whisper in the dark are given voice. From the cryptic candlelit studios, deep in the Indiana forests, your host, Matt Wilson, and his spectral producer, Juniper Ravenwood, unearth the forbidden, the forgotten, and the fearsome. So, still your heart, dim the light, and listen closely. For once you tune into the shadow frequency, you may never tune out.
Okay. I swear this drawer gets deeper every week. Matt, oh wow, look at this.
What'd you dig up this time, Juniper? Please tell me it's not another cursed lunch receipt from the 1980s.
Nope, this looks way older. It's a piece of parchment, brittle as ash. There's some kind of strange writing on it, almost looks like Hebrew or something older.
Let me see that. Put it up against the glass. Huh. Those markings aren't any script I recognize. They almost shimmer when you tilt it under the light.
Yeah, it's like it's moving and... Oh great, the ink smells like ozone. That can't be good.
Nothing says safe for handling like ancient glowing ink from the Cabinet of Doom. Maybe we should just...
Put it back before it decides to whisper our names. Yeah. Anyway. Oh, here we go. Tonight's folder, episode 216, Trapped Miners See Heavenly Visions.
Now that sounds like one for the archives. Ordinary men trapped deep beneath the earth, and what they claimed to see in the darkness might have been something divine.
Or something that wanted them to believe it was divine.
Either way, buckle up, folks, because tonight we're heading underground where faith, fear, and the unknown collide. From deep beneath the soil to the edge of the supernatural, this is the Shadow Frequency.
You are tuned to the shadow frequency, where every whisper tells a story from beyond the veil. Hosted by Matt Wilson, produced by Juniper Ravenwood, with Chris Beach. The darkness continues.
Deep beneath the earth where sunlight dares not tread, the Sheppton coal mine swallowed 3 men whole in the sweltering August of 1963. The ground shook, the tunnels collapsed, and the world above held its breath for 16 agonizing days. But what emerged from that darkness wasn't just 2 survivors. There was a story that clings to the soul like damp earth. Whispers of radiant beings, a glowing pope, and a marble staircase to a city of light. Was it divine salvation or something stranger, lurking in the shadows of the mine? Welcome to the Shadow Frequency, episode 216. I'm Juniper, and tonight Matt's cracking open a file that'll make your skin crawl.
Oh, Juniper, you're painting a picture darker than a moonless night.
Yeah.
I'm already itching to dive into this one. Let's see what's waiting in the depths.
Take a stare, Matt. Just don't get us lost in the dark.
Juniper, you've outdone yourself digging into the file cabinet for this one. Thank you for unearthing a case that's got my pulse racing already. All right, listeners, let's open the file on the Sheppton Miracle. A story so strange it feels like it clawed its way out of the earth itself. Picture it, August 13th, 1963, Sheppton, Pennsylvania. The air is thick, heavy with summer heat, and 3 miners, David Felon, Henry Hank Throne, and Louis Bova, descend into the anthracite coal mine for what they think is just another shift. The mine is a labyrinth of pitch-black tunnels, the kind of place where the walls seem to whisper, and every creak feels like a warning. Hundreds of feet below the surface, they're hauling coal, sweating, breathing in dust that coats their lungs like ash. Then, without warning, a cable snaps, the earth groans, tons of rock and timber come crashing down, sealing them in a tomb of darkness. For 16 days, the world above scrambles. Rescuers drill through solid rock, families pray, and newspapers scream headlines about the trapped miners. But down below, in that suffocating void, something otherworldly begins to unfold. David Felon and Hank Throne, trapped together in a small pocket of the mine, start seeing things. Not the kind of things you'd expect from hunger, dehydration, or oxygen-starved brains. No, these are visions that burn through the blackness like a torch. Felon, the older of the two at 58, swears he sees a radiant light. Not the flicker of a miner's lamp, but a glow that pulses with life. He describes angelic beings, their forms shimmering, their voices soft but clear, whispering words of comfort. Hold on, they say. You're not alone. Hank, younger at 28, nods in agreement, his eyes wide with awe. They both see it. A figure unmistakable, glowing with divine calm. Pope John, the 23rd, who died just 2 months earlier in June, his face hovers in the dark, serene as if guiding them through the abyss. But it doesn't stop there. Felon speaks of a vision so vivid it shakes him to his core. A marble staircase, gleaming white, spiraling upward through the rock. At its peak, a city of light, golden, radiant, alive with a presence that feels like paradise itself. He says it's not a dream, not a hallucination. It's real as the coal dust caked on his hands. For 16 days, these visions keep them sane, give them hope, while Louis Bova, trapped in a separate pocket, hears nothing but silence. The air in that mine is thick with more than dust. It's heavy with mystery. What were these men seeing? Were they touched by something divine? Or was the darkness itself playing tricks, conjuring phantoms from the edge of death? As rescuers drill closer, the visions grow stronger, more vivid, until the moment of rescue finally comes. But the story doesn't end there. It only gets stranger. Juniper, I'm telling you, this case feels like it's got claws sunk into me. Those visions, they're not just lights in the dark. They feel like something's watching from the other side.
Man, I'm getting chills just thinking about it. What were they seeing down there?
Yeah.
Take us deeper. I need to know more.
Oh, we're going deeper, all right. Hold on tight, Juniper.
Wow, listeners, we're only halfway through the Sheppton miracle, and I'm already wondering what's real and what's something else. These visions Matt described, they're haunting, aren't they? Stick with us, because the second half is going to dig even further into the shadows of this case. What do you think? Divine intervention or something stranger? Let's pause for a quick word from Chris Beach, then we'll fire up the spectral cosmic message materializer.
Cheers, Juniper! If you're loving the Shadow Frequency, please like and subscribe and follow us on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, and all major podcast directories. Visit our website at shadowfrequencypodcast.com to catch all our episodes. Leave a voicemail telling us where you're listening from. We might feature it in our next episode. Check out our Shadow blog for companion articles to our episodes, grab some cool swag from our store, or support us by buying us a coffee. Now let's get back over to Juniper for a dive into the mailbag, where we share your thoughts and stories. Juniper?
All right. Thanks a lot, Chris. All right, let's flip those switches on the spectral cosmic message materializer. It's a humming, and a ghostly signal's flickering through the ether. Let's see what it's conjured up.
Message retrieved from the void.
Time to crack it open and hear what one of our listeners has to say. Here's a gem from Frank in Arkansas. Says, hey, Matt and Juniper, just wanted to drop you a note from down here in Arkansas. My wife and I have a little ritual. Once the sun goes down, we grab some iced tea, head out to the porch with our old hound dog, and fire up the Shadow Frequency on the Podbean app. There's just something about those eerie stories and the sound of the crickets that go perfectly together. We both love how every episode dives into something totally different. UFOs one time, haunted hotels the next. Keeps us guessing what's coming out of that file cabinet of doom every time. That bit cracks us up. Keep the shadows coming, y'all. You've got friends here on the porch under the Arkansas stars. Frank from Arkansas. Frank, I can just picture you and your wife out there and the hound dog snoring and the crickets singing along to our creepy tales. That iced tea sounds good, too. Matt drinks gallons of the stuff. That file cabinet of doom's got plenty more where this came from, so keep those porch lights low and the Podbean amp ready. If you want to join Frank and send us your thoughts, you can drop us a line at shadowpodcast@protonmail.com. All right, Matt, take us back into the dark.
You are tuned to the Shadow Frequency, where every whisper tells a story from beyond the veil.
All right, listeners, we're back in the Sheppton coal mine, where the air is thick with mystery and the shadows are alive with something. Let's pick up where we left off. After 16 days trapped hundreds of feet below the surface, David Felon and Hank Throne are clinging to life, sustained by visions of angels, a glowing Pope John the 23rd, and a marble staircase to a heavenly city. But as the rescuers' drills inch closer, the story takes an even stranger turn. The rescue operation was nothing short of grueling. Teams worked around the clock, drilling boreholes through solid rock to reach the men. Food and water were lowered through narrow tubes, but the miners' spirits seemed buoyed by something beyond sustenance. Felon, in particular, was adamant. These weren't dreams or delusions. The beings he saw were real, their light cutting through the pitch black like a blade. He described one vision in vivid detail, a figure cloaked in radiance, standing at the base of that marble staircase, beckoning him upward. Hank backed him up, claiming he saw the same glow, the same presence. They weren't afraid, they said. The visions made them feel protected. But here's where it gets even creepier. When the rescuers finally broke through on August 29, 1963, they found Felon and Throne alive, weak but coherent. Louis Bova, trapped in a separate pocket, wasn't so lucky. His body was never recovered, lost to the mine's depths. Felon and Throne were hauled to the surface, blinking into the sunlight, and immediately began telling their story to anyone who'd listen. The press ate it up. Headlines screamed of miracles, of divine intervention. The miners' accounts of angelic beings and heavenly visions spread like wildfire, drawing pilgrims and curious onlookers to Sheppton. Now, let's pause for just a moment and consider something. Could there be another explanation? The human mind, when pushed to its limits, starvation, dehydration, total darkness, can conjure vivid hallucinations. Miners trapped for weeks might see what they want to see, what their faith or fears project into the void. Felon was a devout Catholic. Pope John the 23rd's death was fresh in his mind. Is it possible his brain wove these images from desperation, a flicker of hope to keep him alive? But let's not linger there too long. The darkness of that mind feels too alive to dismiss so easily. Felon and Throne never wavered in their story, not even years later. They swore the visions were shared, simultaneous, down to the smallest details. How did two men, trapped in the same pocket, see the same glowing figures, the same staircase? And what about the third miner, Louis Bova, who saw nothing at all in his solitary tomb? Was he too far from whatever presence haunted that mine? Or was he spared its gaze? As the years passed, Sheppton became a legend. Some called it a miracle, proof of divine intervention. Others whispered of something else, something older stranger that lives in the veins of the earth, showing itself only to those teetering on the edge of life and death. The mind was sealed, but the story lingers, a shadow that refuses to fade. Were felon and throne touched by heaven, or did they glimpse something that waits in the dark, just beyond our understanding? Juniper, this case leaves me staring into the abyss. Those visions, they feel too real to be just a trick of the mind, but too strange to pin down. What's waiting in the shadows of that mind?
Matt, I'm torn. Part of me wants to believe it's angels, but that staircase? It's giving me goosebumps. Maybe the mind's still hiding something.
Hiding something, all right, Juniper. Wrap us up before we fall back into that darkness.
Well, listeners, we just climbed out of the Sheppton coal mine, but I'm still feeling the weight of those visions. The Sheppton miracle. Is it a glimpse of heaven or a shadow from somewhere else? Thank you for joining us on this eerie journey through episode 16 of The Shadow Frequency. If you've got thoughts on this case or your own creepy tale, send it our way at shadowpodcast@protonmail.com. Don't forget to check us out on our website. You can find everything there, shadowfrequencypodcast.com. You can find a link to our show notes. You can find all the episodes. You can listen. You can find our 24/7 streaming radio there, our store where you can buy merch. And there's all kinds of stuff there, shadowfrequencypodcast.com. And of course, find us on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Rumble, Pandora, and all the podcast directories. And hey, keep those porch lights dim and join us next time for another dive into the file cabinet of doom. Matt, you want to say goodnight?
Good night, listeners. Watch the shadows. They're watching you.
Sleep tight, shadow chasers, if you dare.
This episode was conjured with a solemn vow to explore the unexplained while remaining bound to the truths that have been unearthed. All interpretations are speculative and offered only for your enlightenment and your entertainment.